So our second official pre-season game, we've lost 2-1 to Spurs. Um, you know, I think first thing you got to remember is this is just a friendly. There's no reason to panic. But of course, losing to Spurs is always disappointing, and it is a bit of a worry. Uh, not only failing to beat them, but also ended up losing, playing against 10 men for nearly the entire second half is a little bit of a concern. The reports I'm hearing, those the pitch was in very bad condition, and again, like the approach was because it was a friendly, because you're rotating, trying to have a look at players, trying to just not overdo anyone either with minutes. I think there definitely was a more of a negative approach to the second half, with certain defenders being brought on, certain players being brought off than what there would have been if he was playing against 10 men in a normal competitive game. So I think we should bear that in mind. But still, disappointed to lose to Spurs, and a few. It's obvious. A few worrying signs. It's obvious where the issue is, and I think it is still defensively. I don't think, to be honest, I know we did last season, but if you look at the players we brought in, you look at players we're going to have back, the players that. If you look at the attack we can line up with next season, and what we're added to that as well, Danny Welbeck being confirmed yesterday, I don't think we're going to have an issue scoring goals. I think the issue is going to be conceding too many, and I think that's what desperately needs addressing. So we lined up yesterday with Sherman Lowe in goal, Palestra, Fofana, Colwill, Hatto. That's our back for Colwill captaining us yesterday. Of course, Maxime Lacroix will be coming into this setup very soon, and when we have Reece James back, we'll go as wing backs because we've also gone back in for Pep Travaria to play as a left wing back. Which maybe Alonso will then move to his preferred system, but as of now he's doing the 4-2-3-1 that we see so much in modern football. So Dario Asugio plays in midfield alongside Romeo Lavia. They're the two in the midfield. Then Esteval, Cole Palmer, Gittins, João Pedro. That in front of them, that is our front line. So in attack, very strong. That's certainly looking very strong there, but of course, we saw absences in midfield with players that are at the World Cup, and still, of course, not our best defence, of course, because we're looking to add to it still, and we've got players like Lacroix, who we've already bought, Reece James, who's in the World Cup, still to come back into this. But, fairly close, it's fair to say the game. Spurs, though, they were the team that takes the lead. And it's Jamie Gittins again with an assist, and he's had a goal contribution in all 4 friendlies he's played in now. He's started every friendly so far. He had the 2 behind closed doors ones that he scored in both of them, but then we see him get a goal in the game against Western Sydney Wanderers. Then we see him with the assist for Esteval yesterday. So I think he's certainly making a case for himself here. He's maybe he does deserve a second season at Chelsea here. He looked like he was, to be honest, he looked like he was finished last season. He obviously had that injury, but did nothing in the games that he played in, let's be perfectly honest, or very little to suggest that he would be worth keeping around. However, coming into this season, he's looking like he's found some form, at least in the friendlies. It'll be interesting to see if he can carry that over into the proper season. I think he definitely deserves a chance, but. To equalise, we do equalise quite quickly, but Spurs, of course, they take the lead. Effectively, Tonali gets the goal for them, but of course, Gittins sets up Esteval's goal. For the rest of the first half, fairly even, not a lot in it. But when Danzo's given the straight red at the start of the second half, thinking, okay, hopefully we're playing against 10 men now, we can go on and win, but we just didn't. We didn't really force the issue enough. I do think there was maybe down to we'd made a lot of substitutes, and some of them a bit defensive minded subs as well, in some senses. Tosin coming off of Gittins and subs like that, fairly late on. So we didn't push and we didn't play the way you would if it was a much more negative than what it would have been if you was playing against 10 men in a normal game, is what I'm saying. It is only a friendly, and the pitch was in not the best condition, and Alonso is trying to rotate, he's trying to have a look at everyone, give everyone minutes, and just trying to not overdo anyone as well, not risk any injuries, and I understand that, but just a bit disappointed to not be able to then, obviously, Richarlison getting the late winner for Spurs, to lose playing against 10 men for the entire second half, but it is what it is. It's only a friendly, so definitely no need to panic. But I do think it's obvious where our problem is. I do think that still, obviously, the rest of the window is essential that we get this Travaria deal over the line or Lewis Hall, but it's looking like Travaria we're going in for now. Goalkeeper has to be number one priority, surely, now at this point. We've improved the rest of the team so much. The attack is looking so good. We do not want it to be let down again by defensive errors and goalkeeping errors, which we was plagued by last season. But yeah, Juventus coming up next. This friendly being played in Hong Kong, coming up on Wednesday. Looking forward to this one. Juventus. We haven't played them since 2021. We played in the Champions League in the old format. Looking forward to this one. This is going to be a real test. It's going to be a big game for a friendly. It's like I say, completely different test to what we've had so far. Spurs certainly have to say fair. To be fair, Spurs look very good at the moment. De Zerbi looks like he finished so well with them last season after in difficult circumstances, kept them up, and this is the first full season. I think they could be very strong next season. Looking at this, they've all the players they wanted as well. They've done everything they wanted this transfer window as well. But obviously we have still got a bit more to do, and it's obvious where the improvement is needed. So hopefully we can do that. Hopefully some more signings will be announced before this Juventus game. But yeah, as for this Juventus game, that's going to be a very interesting test for us for sure.